What's going on, my notary family? We're back. Notary tips. We're talking about working with title, just my experience. What else were we talking about? Um, Making mistakes and the effects it can have on the signer, and also what happened here. Look at this box. That's crazy. Here we go. Okay, so my experience working with title, I think in another video I said how I started to get more work with title was when there was another notary who couldn't drop the docs back off in town. They called me and I said, absolutely, I live around the corner. And so they said, oh, you're close by. So when we have more work, we'll give you a call. So I went to do that and they gave me some more work, and it's been slowly building. They even had a signing in office last week, and they said, hey, we got a signing today at 2 in the office. Can you come by and do it? Absolutely. The docs are already printed, so I don't have to print the docs. I don't have to print an extra set. I just go there, present, sign, date, stamp, and we're out the door. So it's just staying ready so you don't have to get ready. And I always see posts on people will say, if we stop accepting low offers, then we'll only get the high offers. The reason they offer 75, 85, 95 is because we just keep taking it. But it's through a signing service, so they take a cut from what the title pays and then give you a cut. So kind of give and take. In the beginning, I did a lot of signings for coast to coast, which we all know they aren't the highest paying, but they do have consistent work. I was taking signings for $75 with scanbacks, which is not a problem. I got to do a video on my scanner right there. Scanbacks take 5 minutes, and I'll do a video on that. But you gotta get your feet wet. So I'm not opposed to $75 signings. Right now I am, because I would do it if, I don't know, I haven't took a $75 signing in a minute, but or coast to coast, because that's all they pretty much offer is 75. I haven't worked with coast to coast in a while, but I did do a lot of coast to coast in the beginning. But anyway, get your feet wet and take what you can get in the beginning. And even if you do like 4 $75 signings, that's 300, obviously before tax, which is not a bad day. So, do I agree? Yes. Do I disagree? Yes. So it's, you got to find your middle ground. But and also I did a signing for title. They gave me it was about 3 days ago. They gave me a signing, and I was at it at 5 o'clock. I was on my way there, and they said, hey, we have another signing at this evening. Now, whatever works for you, but it's out of town, way out of town. It was an hour drive to get there, or maybe an hour 10 minutes. And they said, are you free? Are you available? And I said, absolutely, yes, I'm available. I'll take the signing, because I'm not gonna say no. The pay was good, obviously, and they printed the docs for me. I think they printed the docs, um, but I'm not gonna say no to that and yes to signings that only benefit my schedule or the miles that I'm willing to drive. Because, like I said before, they gave me a signing where I had the buyer and the seller at the same house, where I presented both sides. I had the buyer here and the seller here. I would hand the doc, here's your note, and this is your deed, this is your signature name, this is your correction agreement. I was literally going back and forth like this. They knew each other, they worked together, so they were okay presenting the docs that way. So that was super easy. Signing in-house was simple. I don't have to print, save my ink, save my paper. They take care of everything for me. And I've done multiple signings for this company, so I'm used to their documents, so I don't really need to prep. But I did make sure I was there 10 15 minutes early, just so that I can look over the docs and get the closing disclosure first. So this is the way I do present. If you're not presenting like this, I advise that you do always start with the closing disclosure, because if that interest rate, monthly payments, cash to close, and the closing costs, if anything is off in that, you may not sign. And I've had that happen a couple days ago. So I'll start with the closing disclosure, settlement statement, note, deed, right to cancel. Those are your 5. Everything else is general information. You have your payoff and correction agreement, and I forget, but just general stuff. So that's my work with title. And also, that's a signer. This is the one that didn't go through. I went to his house and he had said, hey, make sure that we get all the docs 100%. And he said that before we sat down. And I was like, man, it's kind of weird. You just start off like that. But he went on to say, I did this signing 3 days ago and there were some mistakes. The notary didn't do the deed, sign or stamp the deed, and there were some other documents that wasn't correct. And I was thinking to myself, why didn't that same notary come back? Every time I made a mistake, title would call me, or the loan office, whoever, somebody would call me and say, hey, we got this issue. We need to have this corrected? No problem. I'll call the signer, make the correction, and send out the document. So I don't know what happened with the notary, why they couldn't come back or chose not to. Either way, I was there, and this was the second time he was presented these loan documents. So we started with the closing disclosure, and the numbers were not right. They were higher on this one, and he already had a copy of the old set. And I think his cash to close was higher, or his closing cost was higher on the documents that I brought. And we called the loan officer, or whoever his contact was, and they told him there was an extra notary charge. So right now he was up to like $500 in notary fees. Or yeah, I'm going to say 500, 400 or 500. I wasn't getting that much. This was through a signing service, so I was thinking I was getting 100, 120, or I don't know, around there, at least 100. But he was getting charged double. And he was talking like, hey, so if the notary makes a mistake, I get charged again. Well, yes, because you have to pay for another notary to come out. So that's 2 notaries coming out. So if that first one makes a mistake and a separate one comes out, then that's double charge for both notaries. But I don't know why it would be a full charge, since those were re-signing the documents. And since those first ones didn't get filed or recorded, to me, I don't understand why it would be another full charge. But he was just like, whoa, why am I getting, this doesn't make any sense. So anyway, we didn't sign. So I'm just saying that to say, let's, make sure that we try our best to have 100% win rate, which I know may not be possible. Mistakes do happen, but that's the goal, because it can cost the signers. And that was the first time I was in that situation where I got to see the effect of a mistake face to face and what can happen. So he didn't like the numbers, so we did not sign the documents. So that's why I always start with the closing disclosure. He was really polite, religious man. He was like, maybe it's a sign from God, because I really don't need to do this. I just want to. He was like, maybe it's a sign from God. He was real peaceful and polite, respectful. Talked it over with the wife, and the wife would say, hey, no go, no bueno. So double check your docs, double check your stamps, double check your dates, double check their dates. I just look for scribble and I check the date. I check the date more than I check the signature, because some people have that scribble. As long as I see the date is correct and a little squiggly, we're good to go. But every doc, even those ones that stamp say read and approve, sometimes those are hard to see. And notice right to cancel. If you write in the date, they got to initial. And a few of them I've had to do that. The one today, I had to have him write in the cancellation date. The signing date was printed up there, but the cancellation date was not. So just a heads up. Also, this was a dual, I don't know if dual signing is the right word. This packet was mailed to the signer's house. So I didn't have to print this out. He had another family member sign yesterday or the day before, and he got these today, and I went to sign. And this is what it, I can't take this out. Anyway, this is what it looked like. I put the docs back in here. Obviously, I gotta put it in a new box, but this is how they came. There was no extra tape. You know, I'll tell you, put extra tape around here. There was no tape. The whole top part was chipped off. Look at that. This is how it came. It was literally ripped open like this. Anything could have spilled inside. You know, you can see the papers peeling out. Normally, I just put my tape across the front. But now, I see, they probably tossing these boom left and right. And we probably might need to put some tape across the top all the way down. Because anything could happen. This could have easily ripped all the way across. Documents fall out, get ripped. Somebody try to put it back, forget a document, and it blows in the wind. It could be personal information on there. Anything can happen. But this is my first time really seeing how documents can be delivered and what can happen. I mean, I can't blame UPS. They dealing with 1,000 documents, and if it's just paper, it's not fragile, so you can toss it, but the paper is moving around. It's getting caught, snagged on other things. So when you put tape around the strip here, you might want to put a little bit on top, a strip here, here, and here. Or you can just put one long one. I'm just bringing the tape over, 1, 2, 3, just to add a layer of protection, because this was crazy. I said, what, this is how the docs came? And he said, yes. He said, yeah, paper's open. Look, you could have put your finger. Anyway, protect the docs. Protect your money. Protect your image. Alright, so those are my tips. My notary family, I love you. Hope you had a beautiful day. We have a 7:30 tomorrow morning, so I'm going to print those out and exercise a little bit before I go to sleep. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a beautiful night.